Hare Krishna. We'll start with the prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaya Kada Mahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Govindaya Namaha Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Sri Krishna Hari Bol Gopala Hari Bol Radha Ramana Govinda Hari Bol Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So welcome you all to the level 2 class of Bhagavad Gita, and today we are going to learn about chapter number 2. Hare Krishna. So second chapter is the contents of Gita summarized. So exactly what is the essence and of a life, and what are exactly the content of the entire chapters is been summarized in this um, chapter 2. If you can understand this, then the rest of the chapters will become easier for you. Okay. Shri Shri Radha Govind ki jai. Uh, So we have various sections in this. So we'll start with section A. That is one. This is about the previous chapters where we have learned about the preparation of the war, and Arjuna had a lot of doubts. And after observing the armies, both the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and when he'll come to know about the list of the people with whom he has to fight and all, Arjuna will become compassionate and he will not be able to take any decision. So he says, better I'll be killed in a battlefield unarmed rather than killing my own people. So he don't want any kingdom which comes at the cost of his own relatives. So being a soft-hearted person, being a pure devotee, he'll give up his Gandiva and go to a side and will sit in the chariot and start weeping like a small child. So he is not decided whether to go about uh, further or what to do next in this situation. So the indecision of Arjuna's is the seed for our Bhagavad Gita. So as I told you, no, is compassionate. There is no enjoyment toward the family members, destruction of the family and all the traditionals. So the second chapter, he surrendered onto the Krishna. That's how Lord Krishna will start telling Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Okay. So in this chapter 2, we have the sections A, B, C, D, E, and uh, Arjuna's doubt will continue till 18th chapter. Okay. So this is just a beginning. First chapter, he will just express his thoughts and all, but second chapter onwards, he has a number of doubts, which Lord Krishna will be clarifying. Okay. So Arjuna's further doubt and his surrender. Next 11 to 30th slokas are about the Jnana Yoga and fighting, and description about the soul, and there is no death for the soul. All those things will be discussed. Coming to the next section is 31 to 38, Karma Kanda. That is fight, but gains come from the dutifully fighting and losing, and losses come from not fighting. Okay. Then Buddhi Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, do it as a duty, but without any bondages. Sthita Prajna, that is, you have to remain fixed in this devotional service. So we will go step by step. The first verse is Sanjay Uvacha tam tata kripaya vishtam mashna purna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. Sanjay describes Arjuna's, Krishna sees Arjuna lamenting like an ignorant man, just like a small child who refuses to go to the school on day one. Okay. Just like this, he start lamenting over the issues, it was troubling him, as discussed in the first chapter. Material compassion, lamentation, tears. These are all the significance of the person who is in ignorance. Okay. A learned person will not succumb to all these things unless one have the self-realization. He cannot be out of all these things. So here we have an analogy of a drowning man and what do you say, a person who is carrying a dress on the other side. Okay. So only a person who is an expert swimmer can reach out to a help for a drowning man, isn't it? So simply if you give him some the external jacket or something like that, this covering and all are just a supportive things. But when somebody is getting deeply drowned, you really have to save him by an expert swimmer. So giving some gadgets, it will be of some help, but not totally you can make the person out of a danger. So similarly, when we are not able to decide anything in a thought process and we are totally out of sync and we are not able to decide how to go about further, then we have to take the shelter of a Lord Krishna or the any depending on the profession in which you are there or depending on the conditions, a person who is more knowledgeable than us, like if you take professors in a college or lecturers in a college or coaches. So these people are expertise in those particular field and all. So in whatever field we feel that we are not very well trained in that, we take help of these people, isn't it? Similarly, in the life process also, whenever we feel that we are not having enough equipped with to deal with the situations and all, then we have to surrender onto Krishna, and Krishna will take the role of a coach, like how he's being a charioteer for Arjuna. So he will guide us in our day-to-day life. Okay. So this particular chapter discusses about the self-realization, and we'll have an analytical study about the soul and the material body, which is explained by Lord Krishna. Okay. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, my dear devotee, how have these impurities uh, come upon you? They are not all befitting a man who knows the value of life, and they lead not only to the higher planet but to infamy. So Lord Krishna is saying, it is something like being qualified in one particular subject, but we are not able to produce the results as per required. That means the concerned authority will ask, you have completed all year. It is something like, say, suppose somebody is did a medicine and they are not able to practice it on a patient. Then they will say, how come what you were doing all the 4 years or 4.5 years? So you have been practicing this day in and day out. When it comes to practice and all, you say you can't do it and all. It is similar to that. See, Arjuna, how come all these impurities have come upon you? I never thought that you will behave like this. And whatever your thought process is going, this will not only will take you to the lower planet, but you will incur a lot of infamy. Okay. O son of Pritha, do not use this degrading impotence. It does not becomes you. Give up such petty weakness of the heart and arise, O chastiser of enemy. Okay, so this doesn't suit you, Arjuna. So give up all these things, what you are feeling right now, and then try to go above all this. Okay. Then Arjuna is saying, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhusudana, how can I counteract with arrows in the battle men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship? So they are my gurus, and they have raised them to what I am today is because of them. And you're asking me to kill them in the war. So how can I do that? And how can I be not reacting to such a dreadful situation? Okay. So at the same time, he will say, so what will you do, Krishna, if you are there in my position? Will you kill them or what will you do? Okay, so he's not able to decide and he'll counter question Lord Krishna. So it would be better to live in this world by begging rather than to live at the cost of the lives of my great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with the blood of my superiors. So Arjuna is not willing for that. So Lord Krishna will say, oh, you wanted to live by begging rather than going for the war. That's so good. Dhritarashtra wanted this word. He's just waiting waiting to hear this word from you. And you are given this wonderful opportunity. So the moment Dhritarashtra come to know that Pandavas have given up in the war and they are just ready for the begging and all. So what all purpose is that this preparation is war of the has taken place and all. So likewise, your unsteady mind, your ignorance is giving away to all sort of things which are not fit to be for a warrior. Okay. Um Yeah, and Arjuna says, okay, if I don't want to conquer them, let them conquer me. That is also okay for me. So that is the decision taken when you are not decided. Okay. Arjuna said, now I'm confused about my duty. Somewhere again, the inner knowledge is showing him the direction. And he says, yes, I am not able to decide. So what is right and what is wrong for me? And kindly instruct me, Arjuna, Krishna. So this is when, see, whenever not only Arjuna, in our day-to-day life also, if we are taking shelter of any coaches or teachers, anyone, the higher up whom we think they are more knowledgeable than us and who can guide us, and we have to surrender them completely. Then only they can help us. So partial things, partial surrender and all will not work out for anything. Say, suppose if you go to any clinic also, you need to tell in total what's happening with you. You cannot escape by saying only the partial thing. So by doing so, only we will not be benefited out of it. So when we trust a person, we have to tell them everything in total. Arjuna continues to give reasons for not fighting and finally surrenders. Okay. Uh, uh, by nature's way, material activity, source of perplexity, surrender to bona fide spiritual master. Um, Yeah. So once we are, what do you say, very much attached to the material entanglement, it is simply equivalent to the skin disease. The more you try to scratch the eczema and all those things, how it exacerbates, the more we are entangled in the material life, the more affectionate will become, and it will take, that Maya Devi will be taking us into that and far away from Krishna. Okay. So we should try to increase our bhakti. So automatically we will be free from all these shackles. And one person can do that is the bona fide spiritual masters. Once we realize that we really need help and all, we have to take a shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who will help us in overcoming all this. Okay. Coming to the verse 2.11 to 30, Jnana fight, there is no death for the soul. Okay. श्रीभगवानुवाच असोच अन्वसोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादं च भाससे गतासु न अगतासुं च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिता. The Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of a grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So I thought you are a wise man, but you are lamenting for your own relatives. So this is not worthy of what you are lamenting for. Okay, so let's see. Lord Krishna is taking a role of a spiritual master here, and he chastises Arjuna. Okay, he's saying him that you're not speaking like a learned man, but just like an ignorant, you're behaving just like a ignorant man. So the difference between a matter and a spirit is the spirit is all eternal, matter it disintegrates. And a learned person knows this differences, that we don't have to work for the body, we just have to work for the soul. Okay. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asochat Anvasocastvam Pragyavadam Bhasase Gata Sunya Agata Sumcha Nanusochanti Pandita. Same thing again. Now he's saying that try to know the differences between the body, which is all temporary, and the soul, which is all eternal, and don't try to lament over the things which are temporary in this life. Okay. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of this cease to be. So it's just like a cycle, we are there at this particular point of time. We were there before also. And all of them, as per their karma, they may or may not come, but this goes on like a circle. It's not like that. It is only for this particular life. So don't lament for these things which are temporary. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरा प्राप्तिर् Dhirastatra na muhyati. As an embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at a death. A sober man is not bewildered by such a change. So you can see all stages of development in this. Ultimately, one has to leave the material body again, take birth and start his journey. So this is the life cycle goes on. So there is nothing to lament over here. Matra sparshasthu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkada, agamapaino nityastam titiksasva bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like appearance and disappearance of a winter and a summer season. So they arise from sense perception, this ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So जैसे नो सुख दुख तो हो आते ही जाते रहता है, so just like a seasons, we don't have to worry about that. The only thing is fixed is we have to be stern in our devotion practices and services. Okay. Yam hi na व्यतयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभा समा दुःखा सुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वया Kalpate, oh best among the men, Archana. A person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and study in both is eligible for the liberation. So you just have to maintain this steadiness always. Okay. And those who are seers of the truth have concluded that the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the soul, there is no change. So this they have concluded by studying the nature of the both. Okay. The material world, though, bante rehta and it get disintegrated, but the spiritual world is all eternal, and once a person knows about this truth and all, he will not lament over the things which are temporary. Okay. Avinashi tu tad vidhi na sarvam idham tatam vinasham avyayasyasya na kaschit kartum arhati. That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Okay. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, living, external living entities is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight. So whatever the body you are having, Archana, one day it has to leave. Even you have to leave. Okay, but by not doing your duty, you will be getting a lot of an infamy. So get up and fight. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. So neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it is slain is in the knowledge, for the self slays nor is a slain. Okay, so only your ignorant thought is making you take a step backward, but you have to go ahead and fight for the war. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूया अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So this body will undergo 6 type of a transformation, and sorry. So it is all ever existing, only the role process. Like if you take a movie, if you take a any lead characters like Shah Rukh Khan and all, so he'll be acting in different movies. Okay, the same person, but his role will be changing. In one movie, he'll be playing one role, another movie, another. Similarly, we the Jivatmas, this cycle goes on. You're there from beginning till end, but in one different era, you will be playing a different role. Again, you will come back for another role. So this is all, this goes on in a cycle. But what is the soul? That the particular identity of that person will remain the same. We may not remember what we were in a previous life and what we are going to be further ahead, but we'll be there from the beginning till the end. So because we are made up of material body, we don't have that much of knowledge, but we are here again, we'll be there further also. So not having this knowledge, the person will subject themselves to a lot of what do you say, because of not having a complete knowledge about it, they try to do self-hurt, all sort of shabby things and forbidden things, everything they will do in their life. How can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Okay, so let's see. वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि कृष्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. So as a person puts on a new garment, give up an old one, the soul similarly accepts a new material bodies, giving up the old and the useless ones. Okay, so the soul don't remember whether it was in a male body, female body, or any famous personality, or whether it was there in an animal body, nothing it remembers. It take birth and complete its life cycle and goes. Okay, so as we all do it, isn't it? If you have a torn cloth and all, we just take it out and try to uh, put on a new clothes. Similarly, the soul also, once its term is finished, it will take out, it will discard the body, what it is having, and it will take on the new one. नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावक न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो नाशोषयति मारुता. Soul can never be cut into pieces, and it cannot be moistened by water, nor withered by wind, nor burned by the fire, because it is all supernatural and permanent thing, permanent matter in this world. Okay, so whatever which is getting destroyed is the physical body, which is made up of all the material elements. Soul is invisible, inconceivable, immutable. Okay. Avyaktoyam achintyoyam avikaryoyam uchyate tasmat evam viditvainam nanusolitam arhasi. So these are the characteristics of the soul. Unbreakable, insoluble, neither burned nor not dried, and everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, eternally the same, invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Okay. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptom of the life will always be born and die forever, you will still have no reason to lament, oh mighty Arjuna. Okay. So one who has taken his birth in this sure to die, because he is in that life cycle. And after death, one is sure to take the birth again. So this is for sure. Again, in the discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Okay. Because these are the things, this goes on, birth, just like that life cycle of butterfly, egg, larva, pupa, adult, and all. So similarly, a person who is taking birth, he has to undergo different stages of development. Ultimately, he'll become old and leave the material body. This is for fixed. And this process goes on. But there is no reason for you to say that you don't want to fight for the war. So you should not lament over the things which are temporary. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. All created beings are unmanifested in the beginning, manifest in the interim stage, and unmanifest again when annihilated. Okay, so what is need there for lamentation, Arjuna? So this goes on. This is a natural process. So don't lament over this. Okay. So it is like a unmanifested, that is a raw material. Okay, we are made up of all these 5 elements, isn't it? And we become manifested in a physical form. So fire is there in the form of hunger in our stomach, and air in the form of breathing, and the physical body is the earth which we are made up of, and the water we have content in our body, and the empty spaces, the nostrils, and the ear, external ear, all this there, like that. In internal body also, we have got many empty spaces, which represent the akasha. So we are made up of all these 5 elements. So from the raw material, we will become a materially manifested physical form. And again, when it become old, it has to go. So this is a part and parcel of our life, Arjuna. So why you are unnecessary lamenting over the things which are a, a regular process? This goes on. So this is not on a priority. This should not be the reason for you to lament that I will not fight for the war. Hare Krishna, I just wanted one devotee volunteer to read this.
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I read?
Anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I read? Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
may I read?
Yes, Harishita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Soul is amazing. Look, see, describe here. Look, see. Some look on the soul as
I'm not
amazing.
able to hear anything.
Um, um, there can be some.
Yes, Mataji.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Look, see. Some look on the soul as amazing. Some people who are amazing look on the soul. Some look on the soul, which is amazing. Looking is amazing. People are amazing. Soul is amazing. Describe. Some describe the soul as amazing. Describing is amazing. Some people who are amazing describe on the soul. People are amazing. Some people describe the soul, which is amazing. Soul is amazing. Here, some hear about the amazing soul. Hearing is amazing. Some people who are amazing hear about the soul. People are amazing. Some hear about the soul, which is amazing. Soul is amazing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So different aspects, looking is a action, okay? Upon the soul is amazing. And people who are doing. Again, next is the people who are looking at the soul is, they say it is amazing. Some say only the soul is amazing. So different aspects of the same, uh, what do you say, one kriya. Okay, coming to the description also the same. Okay, the soul proper, the working of the soul and the people. Similarly for hearing also. Okay. Soul same size, amazing in any of the creatures, whether it's a bacteria or a elephant or a tree or in a human. Okay. But the perspectives by which we see is a different. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. Okay. So analogy for unnecessary violence is not justified. Okay. And here you are taking up the war just to justify the situation, not to for the pleasing of your own senses. So it is okay. So examples are a judge awarding capital punishment to um, the one who has committed the crime, and another is the surgeon is performing operation on the patient. Okay. Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. So these are the characteristics of the soul. Okay, it is eternal, no change, indestructible, imperishable, immeasurable. It cannot be slayed, or it cannot be nor ever slain. No birth or death for the soul. Not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. It's unborn, everlasting, cannot be cut into pieces. neither burned by fire or disturbed by water or wind or unbreakable, insoluble, neither burned or dried, everlasting, ever present, and unchangeable, immovable, eternally the same and invisible. Okay. So coming to our next section is the fight for the gains from dutifully fighting, loses from not fighting. Okay. So whatever they prescribe for your duty as a Kshatriya, you have to do it, um, Arjuna. In that way, you will progress towards the liberation. Okay. If you don't do that, then automatically you're entangled in the material manifestation. Swadharmam api cha avekya navikam pitum arhasi dharmyadhi yuddha shreyonya kshatriyasya na vidyate. So considering your specific duties, Arjuna, as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on the religious principles. So there is no need for hesitation. So Lord Krishna does not support artificial renunciation and acceptance of sannyasa by a Kshatriya. He truly has to renounce his work. Okay. Oh, Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas who, to whom such fighting opportunities comes unsought and opening the door for them the doors for the heavenly planets. So whosoever will win will get a kingdom, and whosoever will lose, they will automatically go to the heavenly planets. So either way, they are benefited. But by not performing your duty, by neglecting your responsibility, you will incur the sins, okay? And you will lose your reputation as a fighter. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person like you, dishonor is worse than the death. So do you want to take on that? The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only. And thus they will consider you insignificant, isn't it? They will not think that you are compassionate, your own kith and kin and relatives, and you don't want to kill them because the family traditions are lost and all those things. So you have your own good reasons not to fight, but the other outside people will not think like that, and they will think that you are incapable, and you did not have the real, what do you say, you didn't have the courage and you are not fit enough to fight the war. That is the reason why you left that place. Okay. Avachyavadamscha bahu vadishyanti tavahita nindantastava samarthyam tato dukkhataram nukim. So your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful than this, Arjuna? So why you wanted to undergo all these things? Okay. So as I told you, either they will be getting a kingdom or go to the heavenly planets. So either way they are at advantage, but by not doing a duty, you are getting a lot of infamy. So fighting for the sake of fighting without considering happiness and distress, loss of victory, gain or defeat. So by doing so, you should never incur any sort of a sin. Okay. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayo tatha yuddhasya yujjasva nainam papam avapyasi. Okay. So do it as a matter of a duty. That's what Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna. Okay. Hare Krishna. So I think we will close for today. Tomorrow we'll resume and we'll complete the rest of the sections. Hope it is clear till now. So material body, what we all possess is temporary. Soul is the permanent. The characteristic of the soul is it is not moistened by water, cannot be destroyed by any means. And Lord Krishna says the all material bodies, like you, Arjuna and me. So we are there from the very beginning. Arjuna is also spiritual, but material bodies, they annihilate, they come back, but they don't have that knowledge like what they were in the past life and all, but they do come, and now we are lamenting over the things which are temporary, that you are killing Arjuna, or you are killing Drona, or you are killing a Bhishma and all those things, which is not right. These people will again take a rebirth, or they'll go to a higher planets based on their past karma and all. But by not doing a duty, you will be incurring a lot of sinful reactions and in infamy as a warrior, so which is not right for you. So please get up and fight in a balanced way, because this happiness and distress are the one which comes like a season, they come and go. But by not doing your duty, you will be incurring a lot of a sin as a Kshatriya, so which is not right for you. So we will see further tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Anything you wanted to ask? Any doubt? I'll just share the attendance link. Yes, here is a link. You can mark your attendance. Hare Krishna.